That was hilarious, especially when all the examples of famous modded guitars were scrolling there in the background. Some would call people that modded their guitars invaders. Well, thanks for saying so, Mike. I was being just a little bit sarcastic in my video response in my first viewer's comments regarding switching out the tremolo on my player Stratocaster for a professional Stratocaster. And that brings us to the point about, well, what is a guitar? Let's take a look at some other comments. A guitar is a tool. Do whatever you want to make it suit your needs. Les Paul modified every guitar he owned. Yeah, definitely, good point. You know, a guitar is a tool. A lot of people use it just to make music and earn a living playing in bands. So it's really a tool to express music. I mean, it's no different than a piano or a drum set. These are all tools that people use to create music. Unless you're buying a guitar as an investment, do whatever you want to it. Telling people not to mod their guitars is like telling them not to change their strings. Yeah, absolutely. There's guitars that you can invest in and you don't want to change, and it really can reduce the value if you change them significantly. And that's why I was kind of surprised at this comment, is because what I did was I simply swapped one part for the another part. You know, a player series bridge for a professional series tremolo. But I still have the original part, and at any time I want to, I can just switch it back and the guitar is all original again. In this case, you know, I agree that guitars can be investments, but in this case, a player guitar probably isn't an investment. I mean, you can look at guitars from 2003, player series guitars. They retailed for about $549 at the time, and now they're selling for $500. So with inflation, it's definitely a drop in the value of the guitar. It's probably priced, you know, a similar guitar as they are now, about $800. So you can invest in guitars, but it really depends on the guitar. And the other thing is you can modify these guitars, even the valuable ones, as long as you retain all the original parts, and you can put them back into their original condition without any trouble. I mean, I know there is something to be said for finding a 1959 Gibson Les Paul with all the electronics intact, never been unsoldered, never been touched, had been sitting in the case for, you know, 50 years, but that's the unicorn. That's not the reality of guitars, which are actually used a lot. And it brings us back to the last comment that guitars are tools. They're supposed to be played, they're supposed to be used, they're supposed to be enjoyed. And I know some people like to buy them just to look at them and hang them on the wall and worry about the condition, but you know, in my book, I just buy it so I can play it and make music with it. And if it gets a ding here and there, well, so what? I mean, I'm going to use it. I can't keep it in a hermetically sealed package and enjoy the guitar. Which brings me to really the whole point of my surprise at the comment is guitars, in the end, they're luxury items. No one has to buy a guitar. And I know people work and make their living, you know, playing guitar, teaching guitar, playing out, but that's still all in the luxury industry. You know, people, like, it's a luxury for somebody to hire a guitar player to come play at their wedding. If time gets tight, they're not going to pay the $300 to $500 for you to come play at their wedding. They'll just, you know, bring a radio and put some music on, which is free. So you can see that it's a luxury if you look at it in a certain way, even though there are the people who are depending on their instruments for their livelihood. So really, it's all what you want to do with your guitars. I just say enjoy them, play them. If you want to change something to make it suit you better, then go right ahead and enjoy your guitar. Potentially, you have a great guitar repair channel. Might want to work at the video quality, reduce the shakiness when filming offhand. Well, hey, thanks for saying so. But I'm not really going to be just a guitar repair channel per se. Repairing guitars is just one of the side effects of all of the guitar collecting and buying and selling that I do. And I figured, you know, I've learned a lot as far as how to set up and repair guitars and I'm doing it fairly frequently, that I could document some of that and show people what I'm doing, and they can learn from, you know, what I've learned buying and trading guitars so much, buying and selling guitars, I should say. But also, you know, if you check some of my other videos, you'll see that I've done more, you know, in-depth reviews of the guitars and having, playing samples as well as looking over the guitar, not just the workbench type video. And I'm also planning on doing some other kind of videos, probably on pedals, playing, practicing, and other guitar related topics that you might find interesting. So thanks again for your comment. Tees guitars come basically ready to play, no work needed to play. They have brought a new standard to inexpensive guitars. Also has full-size body. Sorry, Squier, you are a little too late. I wonder, do you work for Tees Guitars? I did check them out. It looks like they're coming in at like about $179 for a guitar. I don't know anything about them. I've never heard of them. I don't think Squier's a little too late though. Even just recently, they've, the sales show they've sold 300 of the Squier debut Stratocasters recently. So I don't think Tees is putting in a dent in their sales at all. Yeah, like I said in the video of the debut Stratocaster, it's ready to play. And you have to think about the target audience for a Squier debut Stratocaster. Ready to play can mean a lot of different things to a lot of different players, but to a beginner, basically being able to play anything in that first position with your basic chords and maybe up to the fifth position, that's about all the territory that you really absolutely need to have covered for a guitar to be suitable for beginners. That being said, it was set up even better than that. It's set up well enough for even intermediate to advanced players to be able to play that guitar and have no issues whatsoever. So saying that they beat Squier to it, I don't think so. Those debut Stratocasters are fine for what they cost, and some people might wonder why they cost $119. And really, the reason is there's a thing called a loss leader, and Fender look at the total lifetime value of a customer. So even if they're losing, say, $50 on those Fender debut Stratocasters, that's just taking a little bit off the amount that they're willing to spend to acquire a new customer. Say it's $300 to acquire a new customer. So they sell this debut Stratocaster and they only get $50 or even $20, but they've reduced their cost to acquire a customer from, if it was only $20 profit, they've reduced their cost to acquire a new customer from $300 down to $280. And you multiply that over those 300 easily seen sales on Amazon, and you see that they've saved $6,000 in acquiring new customers, because they know the lifetime value of that customer could be anywhere near $15,000, $20,000, $30,000 when they're selling custom shop guitars that are $10,000. So they're just looking to get people started in the door. And that's a lot of the reason you see a company like Fender producing lower cost guitars at such an extreme low price. They're trying to get new customers, and that's the way they do it. As far as Tees goes, hey, I'm willing to try one. If Tees Guitars is watching, feel free to contact me and send me a guitar. Who knows? I only got 100 subscribers. I'm probably not going to send anything. All right, so hey, thanks for watching. This is viewer comments number 2. If you have any comments or questions you want to ask me on this video or any other video, just leave them down in the comments below, and I'll probably put it in the next viewer comments video. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.